Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Roseville Wrecking Ball. The Roseville Wrecking Ball.
Joshua Shrum. He is a very talented steward, very knowledgeable.
The Roseville Wrecking Ball. This is one of those podcasts where I listen to every episode. I love what he's putting out there.
The Roseville Wrecking Ball. Josh Shrum.
Parcels of knowledge. Does a fantastic job with that podcast.
The Roseville Wrecking Ball. He is an Article 8 scholar, and thank God. We need Article 8 scholars right now.
Tune into the Parcels of Knowledge podcast while you're on the route. That's the mailman's playbook, brother.
Good morning and welcome back to Parcels of Knowledge, the podcast dedicated to delivering knowledge to the City Lake area with your host, the Roseville Wrecking Ball, of course. Today is part 3 of the convention, Tuesday. Technically only the second day, because the first day was Sunday, which is not an official day. But most of us got in on Sunday. But, I don't know. This convention thing is going kind of worrisome. We got a ton of resolutions, a ton of amendments, and it seems like we only got through 15 of the 41 proposed amendments. All right. Oh, by the way, I'm also been declared by Next Generation Carriers to be, well, specifically John, I guess, I'm a Renfroe Lackey too. I don't know, he declared online that because I called for the question that I'm a scab and all these other things, which I don't know. I think that's ridiculous, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. But I'm going to do my summary. So today, we started the morning off with risk management class. I thought it was pretty good. And then we went into the general session. We had a moment of silence to honor all members that we have lost since the last convention, and to pay our respects to those that have died in the line of duty since the last convention. We did a moment of silence where we showed on the screen the names and the date of the death of each carrier that died in the line of duty. And I think that was pretty good. And the branches that they came from. They released Paul Barner to attend the auxiliary convention. And then they started executive session for the constitutional amendments. I guess for the executive session, they don't have to live stream it because it's under some sort of executive privilege. So it should be only for those eyes that are present for whatever reason. So during this executive session, we were to either approve or deny constitutional amendments. There was a point of information regarding the rules of the convention. And they talked about how they will not explain those amendments that are substantially the same. Once a disposition has been determined, delegates may wish to withdraw duplicate amendments, and that essentially they announced that executive session is not being live streamed. So we moved on to Constitutional Amendment 1. And with Constitutional Amendment 1, that is an amendment to support ranked choice voting. There's a few of them. That's mostly what we did today. This amendment will replace 50-year. So the Executive Council had made a recommendation of disapproval. And the way that we're doing things is we're supposed to either vote in line with the recommendation or against. It's very confusing. So that's how it's going to be understood. So if we voted yes, that would mean that we agree with the Executive Council that this should be disapproved. If we voted no, that means we disagreed that this, resolution should not pass, that it should. So they kind of give you a synopsis as to why they disapproved it. They said this amendment will replace 50-year voting system, not used very often. Within the NALC, only a handful of branches and no state associations are currently doing ranked choice, and they must be tested at local levels first before they adopt it nationally. They said it's substantial change on short notice, would provide significant hardship in transitioning. So that is why they did a vote of disapproval. Now, this line of dialogue was used in every single one of the ranked choice disapprovals. Chris Presampieri, which is the person who wrote this motion, he gets to rise and speak about that motion. He rised against the disapproval in support of the amendment. He defended it for the reason of a healthy democracy that helps us when there are many choices and only applies to single seat. In a way, in a four-way race, someone could win with only 26% of the vote. It's a proven voting system used for years. You can choose to only vote for one if you want. And then he voted to withdraw that motion because he said, I'm withdrawing 1, 9, and 4 in support of other motions, 3, 7, and 11, because those things are sort of the same. They were all ranked choice related. So number 1 was withdrawn. Number 2, they talked about the disapproval for the same reason as number 1. Ray Tillman, who wrote the motion, rised against the disapproval. He talked about the outcome, and he talked about in support of it. Then his time expired. Charlie Miller rose against the amendment for the mechanics of the process and says as long as 51% or more get the vote, it should be upheld. He said that it could be abused by recommendation of multiple choices. So he was upset that some people were saying, hey, it's you should vote for me 1, vote for this person 2. And that would give rise to abuse, he says. Chris Presampieri rose to speak in favor of it, of ranked choice. Mark Camilli rose to talk against it, and he said that he can't fully explain what ranked choice is. He's too slow to understand it. So he says that would mean a disservice for the membership because they're too slow as well, I guess. I don't know. So at the end of the day, Ray Tillman rose and said that he would like to withdraw it. Number 3. Once again, I do believe, let me just double check. Number 3 is about ranked choice again. Yep. And this motion ended up getting a vote. And this is where I was called. This motion is where I was called a scab by John Murphy. So they talked about the same exact shit when it comes to why the executive board disapproved it. Rakestraw, who was the writer of it, rose to wide applause, and the election company, she pointed out, that we hire actually does ranked choice, which is one of the arguments they were using, is that, we'd have to get an election company that would actually facilitate this. And let's see. Yeah. So she talked about how it was the same as our bids, and then her time expired. Corpus Christi Rose, they were against it because they were also imitating Charlie Miller's claims. I called for the question. This was like after 10 people talked about it. And I was calling for the question because I think Rakestraw had just recently spoke, and she spoke to wide applause. And I thought that was beautiful. And none of the people speaking against rake choice had been very persuasive. So I thought strategically, let's end it here. We've heard about ranked choice for a long time now. We've heard from many people in support of it, many people in against it. And it's time to call it there because I thought the fours were the most persuasive so far. And I didn't want to give the opportunity for the other side to put in an argument that got as much applause as Rakestraw's. And immediately, for some reason, I guess the Next Generation Carrier guy just posted online that it was scab behavior, and then I stood with Renfroe for some reason, which I technically voted in favor of the motion, even though the Executive Council didn't want it to happen. But the vote was clear. 3,250 people said that they did not want ranked choice voting. 1,403 said that they did. The next one I'm moving on to is the number 5, because number 4 was withdrawn. It's again ranked choice, and they used the same arguments, but they tried to vote in block, 5 and 10 together, 7 and 11 together, both in the block individually. Greg spoke in favor of 5 and 10 and then withdrew both. Wakestraw, writer of 7 and 11, rose and withdrew both. Therefore, we moved on to number 12, which 12 out of 41, and most of our day was already gone. Let me take a look at what 12 says. And so far, we had not passed a single thing. It was crazy. So number 12 was about putting any position with salary and benefits to be posted on the members only portal for 10 days so that members can express interest and request consideration for the position. Ultimately, that was denied. Then we moved on to the president having to fill all vacancies occasioned by death or otherwise within 5 days. So I believe that one was brought into understanding because of the Alan Rios issue, where Region 1 had no NBA for a very extended period of time. Brian Renfroe would call that 2 weeks. But yeah, it's a weird situation. And it passed. And then we went to amendment number 14, which was the president shall... Oh, that was withdrawn because it was similar in nature to the last one, which was 45 days. And then the number 14 was 60 days. And then we got to amendment number 15, where the president shall keep a written record of all collective bargaining proposals. In the event the president is unable to perform collective bargaining duties, the executive vice president will be provided with such written record in order to continue the collective bargaining process with the members of the bargaining committee. And that one passed. Then we got on to our last amendment for the day, which was number 16. And they were trying to add in that the president should not be the sole bargaining person, that there was a 5-member committee composed of the president, executive vice president, director of city delivery, and director of safety and health. And they should work together to negotiate the collective bargaining agreement. And now this one was interesting because for whatever reason, a former NBA of my branch and Pat Carroll and David Mudd came over to our area when we were doing a teller vote, like right before. And they were giving us their opinion, trying to persuade us against it, which is fine. It's not technically something that's wrong. To express your opinion should be allowed. I don't think they were really being intimidating about it. They were just trying to express dissatisfaction with this motion. And they were trying to use the argument that this 5-person panel is limiting to what the president can appoint. If he wanted to right now, he could appoint 20, 3,000, 4, however many he wants. And they were saying this limits it to 5. We don't agree with this because it's written wrong. I disagree with that. I think, yes, the committee might be 5 members, but you can still rely on other people for advice. For example, if someone's an expert in a certain area, you as the president could, or any of the 5 members could go to that person and say, hey, I know you have expertise in this. Please advise me on this issue. Not in official capacity, but just let me know. How would you put this? How would you do this? What changes would you recommend? And then they can facilitate that as one of the 5 committee members. So it doesn't make any sense that, they were saying, hey, if this had to do with health and for whatever reason the health person was not on the committee, well then they would be excluded from being able to advise you. I don't think that's true. But ultimately, I still retained my vote, and anyway, it didn't pass anyway. By 2,416 to 1,347. After that, somebody made a motion to stop doing the confusing voting, because we were voting yes or no to the council's recommendations. So sometimes it was very confusing, because they'd say, hey, this is the amendment. We recommend no. And then if we voted yes, it would be yes to the no that the council recommended. And then it would go down. If we voted no, it would technically mean yes. So someone made a point that Robert's Rules of Order doesn't actually facilitate that, even though we've been doing it for decades. This is probably going to be brought back to the table tomorrow. And then we were adjourned. Ultimately, we had an exciting, action-packed day and still didn't get anything done. 16 out of 41, and that all 41 should have been done Tuesday. We have over 70 resolutions for the contract. And then there's legislative ones and general ones. And the appeals from Rivera and others. This is going to have to be long days in the next few days. They're thinking of extending tomorrow. We'll see how Wrecking Crew Wednesday goes. This one's going to be a Wednesday where we're going to have people physically present. So it's going to be for the folks that are here. And I am excited. Tomorrow at 8 p.m., I'll text you guys the location. We're going to talk about our experience with the convention so far. It's going to be pretty cool. But, as usual, like I said the last few times, I'm going to end this podcast with a segment where I go around asking people on the convention floor who they appreciate and who they want to give a shout out to. Sometimes it's as simple as shout out to my branch, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's very special where they say, hey, shout out to this particular person. They've done a very good job, blah, blah, blah. I think that's important that we start appreciating the people who get the work done. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to give shout outs. So if you want to give one, please come find me. I'm doing it on the convention. So without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go. And you guys will do that last bit. Hopefully you learned something valuable today. And as always, have a good day.
All right, everybody. This is Chris Strickland. I'm Branch 1096, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I just want to give a quick shout out to some folks that I really appreciate. Just been working hard and doing the right thing and leading the charge. And I really want to talk about Branch 2464 out as the Bayou Land branch out of home in Thibodaux, Louisiana. They represent everything that you love about a union, about a branch, from top to bottom, end to out, from transition from president to president to president, from E. Gerald to Reed to Corey Champagne. So they have a really good motto that's a small branch with a big footprint. And I think that's a very good motto to have, and they talk it. They don't just talk it, they do it. And so I just want to say a quick shout out to them. So I appreciate it.
Shout out to Branch 193, San Jose, California, capital of the Silicon Valley, baby. Woo!
That was good.
All right, shout out to Branch 60 in Stafford, Connecticut, Merritt Branch, especially to our president Mike, who is been in charge of the trip and has split up the responsibilities, and we're having a great time here in California.
I'll give a shout out to Robert Hoffman, Branch 219 Steward of the Year. Best steward, holding the branch on his back. He's going to need a back brace at some point. Woo! That's it.
Okay, I'd like to do a shout out to Branch 79, Seattle. We have a lot of delegates here. We have our state president, we have our branch president, and our delegates are all doing great. Of course, we're meeting, all day long and into the evening, but we love it, representing letter carriers.
Okay, I'm going to give a shout out to Branch 130, to all my fellow stewards. You guys keep up the good, hard work. You guys are doing great. This convention has been amazing. The classes are amazing. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Nora Stamper at Branch 79. That woman is absolutely brilliant.
Tony Rodriguez, Branch 704 from Tucson, Arizona. I want to send a shout out to all my brothers and sisters back in Tucson who are working hard, enduring the heat. We're out here. We're here at the National Convention trying to make things better for our brothers back home and all the United States.
All right, Richie Ray here at the National Convention, giving a shout out to my president, John Cruz.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, this is Ashley. A shout out to Branch 50 in Pennsylvania.
Okay. You ready? Okay, go ahead.
Shout out to Branch 580 President Kathy Bodner. John.
Remember what got us here when Vincent Sombrado was the catalyst for the strike in 1970. Everything, all the benefits that we have are because of Vince Sombrado, one person. So don't think that you can't do something. Everybody can do something.
Elliot? Okay, ready? Go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Margo O'Neill from Branch 352 in Des Moines, Iowa. I wanted to shout out to the Next Generation Carriers podcast and my branch back in Iowa. So, hi.
All right. I'm going to press record now.
Shout out to all the city letter carriers. My name's Elliot Simmons. I'm running for NBA Region 7. Get the vote out, guys. We got to overturn this establishment. They don't care about us as much as they claim to. The proof is in the pudding. The status quo is not good enough.
You want to do a shout out?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Shout out to everyone in branches 1296 and branch 88. I know it's rough out there, guys, but you got it.
This is Matt Idzards. Shout out to Branch 491 in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Awesome.
Good shout.
Okay.
What do you want to say? We're at the NLAC National Convention in Los Angeles. I'd like to shout out to all Branch 385 that's holding it down while the delegates are here. And it's a very interesting year.
Chris Gannett, Branch 230, Hudson, New Hampshire.
Hey, I want to shout out everybody over Branch 2819 who's here and who's back home, and I look forward to coming back with a bunch of knowledge.
Shout out Branch 1753, Bradenton, Florida.
Awesome. Here you go. Go ahead.
Shout out to Branch 41, Brooklyn, New York, to President Cruz and all the membership. Thank you very much.
All right, go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to Bridge City Branch 323, Logansport, Indiana.
Want to do a shout out?
Yeah, shout out.
Okay, go ahead.
Shout out to Mike Cariff, Region 3, Illinois.
All right.
Hey, I'd like to give out a shout out to Branch 2502, Las Vegas. This is Trevor Helgren. Having a great time out here, meeting people at the 2026 convention.
Go.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Hi everyone, this is Michael Graisley from co-host of the Classes on Mail. For anyone who's listening to us, I want to say hi to all those people that listen to us.
If these guys are getting educated, we will be in big trouble.
Management's been weighing you down like a bag of wet catalogs, but you don't gotta take it. You strap on the elbow of education, dig it?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Roseville Wrecking Ball. The Roseville Wrecking Ball.
The Roseville Wrecking Ball is an Article 8 scholar, and thank God. We need Article 8 scholars right now. The Grievous Genius and the Roseville Wrecking Ball doing amazing work.
Tune into the Purses of Knowledge podcast while you're on the route. That's the Mailman's Playbook, brother.